Mr. Massimo Mercati, Head of the European Space Agency Security Office.
Thank you.
Mr. Mercati, you're a regular from CYSAT.
Yes.
You've already been to previous editions. Well, there is a reason to this. You have an impressively rich career in history in space and security in multinational programs. You build your expertise by working on complex dual-use or military space systems. This included the International Space Station, Galileo, the Medium Extended Air Defense Systems, but also agencies and organizations, may they be international or national ones. I will leave you to your responsibilities and wait for you for the later discussion.
Thank you. Good morning to everybody. Let me first thanks to organization always to give us this opportunity to share where we are in the security and the cybersecurity applied to space. And I want to start really with this one, recalling why we are here today. It has been almost anticipated by all my previous colleagues from Commission and from CNES, the importance of the space domain. Since last 10 years, from the Lisbon Treaty passing through the Space Defense Agency and national rules, has been always confirm the importance of the space domain as a strategic asset. And even more, as I said by Guillaume de la Brosse, need to be considered as a critical infrastructure. It is clear that behind the word space, there is really the daily life of all of us. There is the communication backbone, the navigation system for our service. There is the capability of a country to monitor the evolution of crisis and major challenge. This means that the space domain has been confirmed to be very important and therefore to be protected. To be protected against a dynamic evolution of the threat landscape. Today, Rodrigo da Costa has shown some important features. Need to be protected against a wide range of threat actors. And let me say that the old paradigm that space domain only managing classified information need to be protected is almost superseded. Space is important because any attack at this stage on the space domain can detriment important service for our society. It can also take profit to gain control about the space system, unclassified or not, to launch a hybrid attack. So we are here today to talk about security and cybersecurity only because in the last 10 years, space has become really an important fundamental factor for Europe. And what has been done inside the European Space Agency and what we have done together with our member state and our stakeholder. Since 2019, there has been a huge transformation in security and security in ESA. We have tackled a major upgrade of our security framework. Our security framework that is fully recognized at international level, is mentioned as one of the pillars inside the ESA-EU security agreement, is one of the pillars between the ESA and member state security agreement, is our backbone to start up all the activity to manage classified information, sensitive information, in a structured way, all the activity. Again, Guillaume has talked about the capability to protect a system from all different segments. ESA has been the first one through the security directive to tackle all potential standard, requirement, principle to protect all the system, not only the classified one. So for us, the security framework is really the central point, the core, the climax of the security of our agency, because allow us to work with our partners in a coherent and harmonized way, and to provide the assurance that they are requesting. And for partners, I mean our member state. ESA is the agency of our member state, is the agency of our stakeholder. And the security framework allows us to have an homogeneous approach across different actors. The security framework allows us, and this is very important, also to have a new governance, if you allow me. Always composed by the Council, the Security Committee, that are our advisor for security, but give us the capability to approach the security of different space programs not only with the adequate protection, but also with a different need-to-know capability. And this is to answer to one important principle that Commission, but also EUSPA, has expressed several times: the capability to protect the autonomy, the capability to protect the autonomy of a particular system. ESA is able to protect the system and to grant the full need-to-know principle in any circumstance. In addition to the security framework, we have been able to start up and to launch a new way to perform security assurance. Elisabetta, my EUSPA colleague, talked a lot about accreditation. And we know each other since a long time, also with Philippe Bertrand. When we have conceived the security framework of ESA, something that has guided my team, but also the full people that has been involved in the review of the security framework, was to conceive something that was a standard for Europe, standard for our member state, standard for the European Commission. This is why in the security framework, again, there is an homogeneous and transversal approach on the security assurance, that it touches the corporate activity and the space program activity since the beginning, to analyze a different segment by design, by implementation, and up to the end for the operation, if the system is able to grant an adequate level of the risk profile, if it's really protected. The third pillar, very important, is the cybersecurity. Is one of the key topics of today. And I'm very glad of, again, to Guillaume Delabrosse to have mentioned ESA before, because cybersecurity is one of our pillars. And in a moment in which everybody are talking about the requirement, the standard, the need to work together, the president of CNES, for which I fully share and concur, ESA in 1 month will be fully operational with the first cybersecurity operational center. That is not the usual CSOC that you can find in Europe. This CSOC, let me say with a lot of proudness, is first of all the outcome of an amazing collaboration inside ESA and with our industrial partners. Second, as all the new technology and new requirement that you can find in the field of this domain. It's the first time that we have a distributed system on 3 different sites, with master and backup capability, the capability to monitor corporate activity and space program activity, the capability to analyze if an attack is carried on ground or on space. And the last but not least, I always try to answer to this question. Cyber, has been said before, security is something to be shared together. And in which way cybersecurity can help Europe, our member state, our stakeholder, to be more closer to their need. And we have conceptualized what is called the Cyber Portable Operational Platform, something that can be deployed in the premise of our expert, the National Security Agency, and for which there is already the capability to share information. So is an important input. We are saying that we can be already operational for the threat intelligence, for the civil or space threat intelligence, of course, to share information in order to cope together to the evolution of the threat landscape. But even more, with this platform, you can remotely have the function that you can find in Belgium or in Germany, where the real system installation is. And this goes beyond the requirement and the standard to be written. This is a reality. And this reality has been developed in accordance, again, to our security framework. Is the first framework that there are standards in cybersecurity for all the segments, ground segment, signaling space, and space segment. And the CSOC has been developed with this standard, with the help, again, with all our industrial partners. And I see here, for example, Leonardo. CSOC is an important tool for the operational life cycle and to support the ISAC ambition of EU and our member state. But before, we have developed another platform to support the activity to design and to develop our system. And this tool, this platform, again, will be operational now in May 2024, and is called SCOE, is the Center of Excellence, a Security Cyber Center of Excellence, and will be able to emulate any space system, to customize any space system in emulation mode, to associate a catalog of threat, and through this platform, you can validate your requirement, you can qualify your requirement, you can validate your operational procedure, and you can perform training on real emulation system in accordance with a threat landscape. And you can perform also a real threat assessment with the plug-and-play capability. This COE plus the quantum verification platform, that will be a new initiative to be launched in the short term, plus a medium constellation of one of two CubeSat to support the capability of the CSOC, is the ESA answer of the threat landscape in Europe. Is the ESA answer to support our member state and our stakeholder to face the wide range of threat actors. Today, again, the president of CNES saying, and also Commission reinforce that this is a challenge that we can face and we can win together. The European Space Agency, since the beginning, even before the 2019, has demonstrated to be a trustable partner. We have done a huge step forward in order to have an harmonized approach on our requirement, standard, and to have a concrete example of our wide expertise in space and in security. Therefore, we represent, with our member state, with our specialist security committee, a valid support to face and to shape the security for space for future. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think you can have a seat or you want to. Please do not hesitate to raise question on the application Connects Me. For now, I must stay there known, so it will be all up to me. You said earlier that there was, you mentioned old paradigm related to European space. I wondered what were the previous ones, if all.
So in fact, there was not an old paradigm of the European Space Agency. It was an old paradigm of the space in general, where the protection of the space system was a perimeter mainly to classified system. There is a system managing classified information, okay, need to be protected and accredited. Today, we have seen that this is not anymore the case, because there are important space systems providing a service like navigation or SATCOM that are not fully classified, are maybe sensitive, for which if attack can really cause a detrimental situation for the service and for the society. Therefore, need to be protected. This has been the first, maybe, to put in our directive, in our security framework, the procedure, the requirement to cover all, the full spectrum. A system, if it's sensitive, if it's vulnerable, independently if it's classified or not, need to be protected. And if need to be protected, need to be certified, and in case it's classified, also accredited. So we give the full spectrum of assurance to our member state that what we are designing and develop is fitting for their purpose. Let me say that is the first objective of our security framework, to protect the member state investment in space for all systems delegated to ESA.
And that would be a European pattern of space security. Would
Yes.
it be the brand mark, or is it something that you've been inspired by other systems?
No, I believe that, as I said before, this old paradigm does not anymore in place. And we hear before from Commission that space is important and globally need to be protected. I'm sure that in the space law there will be a detailed process, procedure and requirement to protect, for example, the ground segment. So you see, I mean, the trend is quite marked. And this will be for the future, also because the vision that we have, that we will have more and more system for commercial and for security purpose that need to live together. This is an important challenge, but this means that globally need to have a protection, an adequate protection, but a protection.
Thank you. We have questions from the room. John Irving is eager to know, and he says, security is an increasingly important domain, but not always a driver for most missions, he regrets. It comes with a cost, sometimes significant. How is ESA tackling this challenge?
Thank you, John Irving. Let's say that we are living an important stage in ESA, an important moment, because the Director General, Josef Asbacher, is considering security very important, is one of the top priorities of Agenda 25 of ESA, and all directors are quite sensitive on the matters. And when I say all, I mean from science director, of course, navigation director. In Galileo, they have a huge experience, my colleague, in security implementation, but also AOP, Earth observation, technology. So I believe, more than believe, I'm sure that in the CM25, in the new ministerial, any space program will have a significant part of contribution to secure the system and to implement more and more transversally the cybersecurity. So I feel really to reassure everybody, including John Irving.
No name dropping here. Another question from Jose Jimenez Rincon. How is ESA implementing NIS2 directive?
Yes. So what I said before is in 2020, we have already delivered the security directive, the ESA security directive. And in the recent, we have done also a compliance assessment with all the other directives. And thanks to that, I can say that we are compliant today with the current standard because we are following the logic and the implementation of the logic, starting from all different level of segment, including the implementation and the standard that are referring to the NIS2.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Another question from Alessandra De Angelis. What about space infrastructures and assets not owned by member states? You talked about commercial structures, for example, owned, managed or operated by private entities.
This is an important question because, as I said before, the future will be more and more dual, commercial and security. Let me answer in this way. For the space infrastructure that belong to ESA, we are following a clear process. I am the accreditation authority. The system are protected. The infrastructure are considered very often critical infrastructure. For the infrastructure owned by the European Union, we have seen that Elisabetta and my colleague Philippe Bertrand, they are the accreditation authority with the sub. Industry and each member state need to take the responsibility of their own infrastructure. What does it mean? That when industry apply to a procurement launched by you or by ESA or by all together, need to grant through our requirement a minimum level of protection of their infrastructure. When they operate the infrastructure, need to ensure an adequate level of the operational procedure if they are operated directly by industry. And from an accreditation perspective, don't forget that the security at the end belongs to the sovereignty of each member state. So it's up to each member state also to certify, to accredit their own infrastructure. And with this mechanism, with infrastructure belonging to ESA, to EU, with each member state, we can have globally a right level of assurance that the space system that is based on this common infrastructure is well protected. But the industry role has an important role,
We still have a few more time for questions. Please do not hesitate to raise them on Connects Me. You said that ESA was compliant with the standards, and yet earlier on, when talking about the new cybersecurity platform, you said that ESA goes beyond the standards. Is it a way to be a standard setter, to go beyond what's existing?
If you are able to customize and to conceive a platform that is able to acquire requirement, even a new requirement, from the beginning, from the design up to the implementation phase, then yes. At the end, we are not inventing nothing completely new. We are talking really how to balance security protection among different segments. If we are able to share among one platform the way to design this kind of system, even in different angles, we are in the position to monitor the evolution of the system in each phase and to find, since the beginning, the vulnerability. And since the vulnerability, the possibility to balance cost and security.
Still no question. You said nothing new, but though we are all pending on the Commission initiative for the EU space, so what are you expecting for it?
We are pending on the European Commission initiative. We are pending to our member state initiative. So we are pending all together because at the end, European Commission is member state. So you see, the space is a very close world for which anybody is fully independent. Everybody depends by the others. We are an important stakeholder, let me say, because ESA is able to provide space expertise and security expertise. At the end, ESA has been the one that has been able to develop Galileo. ESA has been the one that is covering a wide range of space activity, from launchers, again, to robotic exploration, Copernicus. And this expertise together with security is an incredible value. An incredible value that has been recognized every ministerial. Even during the ministerial 22 in full COVID, member states provide us fully trust in their investment in space. Again, we are with the European Commission for IRIS Square. So I'm not, let's say, waiting anything. I just want to shape and support our member state for this aspect that is crucial and for which we need to be together.
Do you think this vows of yours will also be felt at the Council, because now the initiative, once it's adopted, shall be also endorsed by the European Council? Are you this confident?
I'm always confident in the life. You know, I mean, if you talk with my team, they will say that I'm always confident and optimist. We will take this space law, we will analyze the space law, we will try to map with our member state, with our specialist, which delta we can provide, on which kind of input we can share with our partner, and we will continue to work together.
We have a question from Jack Cruz Brandao. He asks, how does ESA plan to make use of the European Cybersecurity Certification Framework and its upcoming cybersecurity certification schemes under development by ENISA?
Okay, we have in our security framework a full process of certification. Again, I'm not waiting. If there is a need to be covered. And we are lucky because for sure we are more agile than any other stakeholder. So we have already in 2020 approved by ESA Council, 22 member states, the new security framework in which there is a full section in cybersecurity in the way to certify the cybersecurity, in the way to certify space systems that today are unclassified, not the one that are classified, the one that are unclassified. So in which way I will make use? Again, I will analyze the certification framework and what can become from this, and we will map and we will try to reinforce the synergy. And with ENISA in particular, there is a table of work together, and I'm glad of that. And we are very open to collaborate and to make synergy with all the European stakeholders.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mercati.
You're welcome.
The occasion also to thank our sponsor, ESA, for its continued help in this event.